Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for choosing our show and thank you for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, the one term movement is a movement that is unstoppable. And someone must tell the UDA government that no matter what amount of pressure and the tricks that they try to put around, the one term movement cannot be diminished. As they say, no one can stop an idea whose time has come. Yesterday, very many youths were taken to Statehouse in what William Ruto called this kind of empowerment program. They were given some sewing machines, they were given some shaving machines, they were given several things. Now they were being, grouped together and given these items. Now the funniest part is for you to get to State House, people have been asking, what was the criterion that was used to invite these people to State House? Now, let me tell you something. For you to get access to State House, the invitations were coming from the members of parliament. I watched some of them are people who I know, and most of them are, for lack of a better term, do I call them thugs or goons? That are always in members of parliament's team or the MCS team. These are the group that support members of parliament. So they were selected because you don't just get there if you are not the inner circle of the members of parliament or the MCAs. All the same, they are Kenyans and they are youths. No, what the funniest part of it is that they are given these items to go and empower themselves. But now some of them are ni wale, do I say, vijana wa miraa na pombe. So all they want is to sell these items to other people so that they can get some cheap money to go around. And I'm not saying all of them. So by today, they were really looking for a market for these things that they were given. Some of them don't even want to work because they are used to very easy money. When there is someone to be roughed up, they are called by the MCA or the MP of an area and they are given money to go and do that job. So they don't work. Wale ni vijana wa kuchana. And I'm not saying all of them, don't get me wrong. I know there are some who are very serious and they are going to benefit from the items that they were given. So that criterion, you all know that you don't just wake up and you get your name in the list. No. Now, I also realized that majority of them are those who opposed William Ruto, those who wanted to get to State House. And so William Ruto thought, why can't I take them to State House that they really wanted to see? Maybe after this, I shall have quenched their thirst to get to State House. Indeed, according to this government, they think that people wanted to get to State House for merrymaking purposes. They wanted William Ruto out. So by doing this, William Ruto thought that he would thwart the one-term movement, but he was really shocked. I also understand that there are a lot of NIS guys in Kasarani, the ongoing tournament. When Kenya is playing, like today, Kenya was playing Morocco. By the way, congratulations to our ambassadors because I was afraid that we would be beaten. Morocco is always a very good team. So there are a lot of NIS guys to try and control the one-term movement. So after giving them those items, giving them money, hosting them, there were a lot of things, activities that happened in State House. William Ruto thought that that was enough. And so people would not sing the one-time movement because these days, whenever you are in an entertainment joint or some, discos or in a sport arena, people, are fond of the one term. It is now the national anthem. Ruto must go. But Ruto thought that he had now pacified the situation and no one would sing the one term song. But someone is sending and sharing this video that today, after the very amazing moments Kenyans rejoiced after they celebrated, after Kenya beat Morocco 1-0, they didn't forget their anthem, the national anthem. And there was this shocking WANTAM Kasongo must go that has really shocked Statehouse, despite the fact that some of those people they are the ones who were in Statehouse and they were now to represent William Ruto. I understand that some of them were even charged to ensure that anyone who tries to sing WANTAM is dealt with. But this is what happened. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot use some temporary solutions to what looks like a permanent problem. William Ruto is fond of making, some makeshift solutions that, do not suffice to solve the deeply rooted problems that Kenyans are suffering from. When you had been cornered sometimes back in last year by Gen Zs, instead of facing the problem, because he started very well, he called for a press conference and said, I have succumbed, I'm going to dissolve the cabinet. He did that. And even told us what was going as measures to ensure that he curbed wastage in government. But after realizing that things were not going his way, instead of implementing what he gave Kenyans, he went for Raila Amolo Odinga and thought that that is the only thing that he needed. They formed this makeshift broad-based government, thinking that that would kill the movement. Now, one thing that they must understand is that that movement was never killed. All they killed was the demonstrations, because youth realized that they are killed on the streets. But even after that, you saw what happened on Sabasaba, and even on 25th of July, to try and look back into what happened to the Gen Zs in June 2024. They were killed, but they were still very brave enough, determined to go to the streets. This only shows that by bringing Raila, they didn't kill demonstration per se. When Albert Ojwang was killed, people on the streets. When Joki was killed, people on the streets. So they didn't kill that movement. What happened is that Raila supporters are the ones who are removed from the streets and they don't go. But others are still going on the streets because they realize that our problems are joined at the hip bones. So when you bring Raila and you think that you are killing the movement, you cannot kill that movement. William Ruto does things and they are spreading rumors. Recently, there was some rumor that they are looking for Kalonzo and Kalonzo is about to join them. And they want to dampen the spirit of the one-term movement. They want the opposition to start thinking that there is division. And that's why Kalonzo said that he still believes that William Ruto is a one-term president. They are not going to be intimidated. Ruto will not succeed in creating confusion within the opposition. And he said it in uncertain terms that he is there to stay. He's not going to betray Kenyans. And he told Kenyans, we must finish this race because there is a kind of choreographed rumor that is going on that Kalonzo is moving out from the one-term movement to join the two-term movement. So Kalonzo refuted those claims.
If we want to assure our supporters who believe William Ruto and his failed regime with their failed policies should be a one-term president, that 2 years later, our focus has only grown sharper and our resolve stronger towards fulfilling this sacred mission of uniting and liberating our country from the shackles of Zakayo's harsh taxes, from corruption and bad governance, and restoring good governance, accountability, integrity in our public service, and respect for the rule of law and constitutionalism. This is a journey we are all totally committed to travel together for the next 2 years or under 2 years. And it is a journey we are prepared to make any sacrifice, bear any burden, pay any price in order to complete.
The UDA government must understand that the stakes are high, because by yesterday I was really scared that after the Gen Zs went to State House, then they had been compromised, they had betrayed their fellow, counterparts who were killed, and I was like, it is over. But someone was telling me that, Achando, we understand this is our money. So we went to pick our money. State House is our house because William Ruto is there courtesy of the mandate of Kenya. We maintain his office with taxpayers' money. So we went to collect our money and we went to our house. And there were some of them were assuring me that we know the problems that we're suffering from. But even if he thinks that he can capture a few Gen Zs, let him understand that civil servants, if you talk to civil servants, I was talking to someone who was telling me, our payslips have been invaded so much that I can never think, leave alone, voting in William Ruto. I can never imagine that I would vote for him. And I thought this was true because I listened to a teacher in Western who confronted officials in front of Mudavadi. Actually, she confronted Mudavadi. She was asking, why must I be paying this housing levy? Why? Even the medical cover, I think the teachers are paying, I don't know, twice. So civil servants are saying, no, we are not going to accept this. There are Gen Zs who understand what they really want. They're saying, this will not happen. So by giving Gen Zs some meal, a plate of rice and meat, and then escorted by a bottle of soda, I don't think that is enough to change the minds of determined Gen Zs who really understand that we love our country and we must change our country. So when I watched that video where Gen Zs are singing WANTAM, then I knew those are not even Gen Zs alone. The WANTAM movement is a movement that is unstoppable. You can call many people as you want to State House. They can eat as much as you think they need, but this movement is unstoppable. There's nothing that is going to stop it. Many Gen Zs are not going to the streets. They're saying, Wewe ngoja, we have one agenda, to Kona William Ruto in 2027. And 2027 polls is going to be a vote that will, determine our next destiny. It is a vote against SHA that is not working. It is a vote against human rights violation where people are just killed anyhow. It is a vote to reconstruct and reset our country, the education system. It is a vote that will ensure that capitation fee now gets to schools in time. It is a vote against corruption. Never again will we witness headlines like e-citizen that is being, looted to the core. And anyone who loves the country must maintain the one-term movement. This is not about Gachagua. It is not about Eugene Omalwa or Natembea or Mateni or Kalonzo. Those people that I've mentioned can live in this country and they will never taste the pangs of hunger or poverty, because that we only have two tribes in Kenya, the rich and the poor. This is about you and I. This is about our younger generations who are coming up. If we allow this to continue, I can assure you, we will have no country. It is going to be a vote that will prevent building structures inside national parks, inside forests. This is a vote to get a new Kenya. Kenya is going to be rebirthed in 2027. So the one-term movement must continue. And those people singing one term, I hope they're not just doing it, but they will convert that song, they will convert those songs into votes so that we wipe away the UDA party. We bring new leadership that will help Kenya move forward. And I'm just praying that anyone who is associated with Kasongo, anyone who is part of the status quo, should be sent home packing. And by those songs, Kasongo is a one-term president together with anyone. In fact, the entire broad-based government must go home.